Get ready to step into the magical kingdoms of memories. I just got back from Disneyland and we all can't wait to hear about it. Welcome back to Your Extravagant Adventures, your gateway to the enchanting realm of magical travel. I'm Rachel with Abby and Mackenzie. We serve as your dedicated guide to the captivating worlds of Disney, Universal, and beyond. Embark on a journey with us as we unveil hidden treasures, share behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and provide insider tips that will elevate your vacations into extraordinary adventures. Whether you're a lifelong enthusiast or a novice explorer, Your Extravagant Adventures is your long-awaited voyage. Tune in every other week as we unveil a universe of wonder and cherished memories. Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers. How are we all doing today?
Great.
We're all super excited. I mean, Mackenzie's a little under the weather today. Wah, wah.
Yes. So is this little lady, but we're here. We're
Special guest by Poppy.
Yes. Say hi.
A Disneyland fan
Wearing
herself.
her Disneyland shirt right now in honor of our discussion.
Exactly. Well, before we jump into Disneyland, there was a lot of news that happened in the last 2 weeks. We had Destination 23. When was that? Saturday?
Saturday. God,
Yeah.
that was there are so many things. I'm very excited, guys.
Yeah, so the first one we were just talking about, Test Track, is being reimagined. Now, they haven't given us dates, when it's closing, when it's going to be reopening, what the reimagining is going to be, but what are we most excited about for this?
I think it's just been so long since this ride has gotten any love that I'm very excited about any potential update. I do much prefer the first version before they brought in.
Same.
I know that Chevy is going to sponsor it again, though, so I imagine some form of the concept car will stick around. But man, I'm excited to see because, you know, it could use some love. We didn't even have the test car thing for a while there with COVID. It's getting weird. It's awkward in there.
Yeah, we definitely need it, and I just hope they don't put up any more construction walls because I'm so sick of the construction.
So sick of the walls, and I heard they're like finally down, right?
They are.
So we can't be having those come back.
Most of them. There were still some up. So
right.
Yeah, because I don't think I put it in here. It's opening October 16th officially, right? That was the date?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe by October we'll have no more walls because that silly, what is it called, guys? The place where they're going to have the festivals. That's not done yet.
That's not done yet, but I think the main walls will all be down, right? Like you'll be able to exit the park normally.
Yeah, yes, but you still won't be able to go straight up the middle because that's where that festival center thing, and I think that's where the statue is going to be, right? The Walt statue?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll still have some walls, but the new nighttime show at Epcot, Luminous, we got a date for that. It's going to be December 5th.
Cannot wait.
It's giving me Harmonious vibes,
Yes.
and I really hope so because we were just talking last show or 2 shows ago, my love of Harmonious. So I hope it's kind of the same. What do you guys think it's going to be about?
So I also it's giving Harmonious from the little that we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm all on board as long as the barges don't come back because I was very excited when those came down. I know this is like hotly contested. I have friends who loved the show and didn't mind the barges. I mind the barges quite a bit.
See, I liked the show, but I did mind the barges. If they could do what, Illuminations, they brought in that stuff every night. So like if they could just do that where it goes away and comes back, great compromise. Everybody wants to look around World Showcase Lagoon and not have it obstructed with ugly metal objects.
I
agree. Would have kept them had they thought that they were going to use them for the new show. So, right? I mean, Epcot Forever doesn't need anything. So if they would have just left it.
I agree. I would like to think that's true.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed because we'll know by November because they'll start bringing that stuff out probably around Thanksgiving if it's needed. They're going to test around Thanksgiving, I'm sure. The next piece of news I'm psyched about. I don't know what this is going to look like, but a Pirates of the Caribbean lounge is coming to Magic Kingdom.
Not only am I thrilled about this, but I'm obsessed with the cast member video that they made.
It is so good.
It is so good while they're all doing the Captain Jack run.
Yes, and they all do it really well too.
They do impressively well.
Do we think it's going in that space where that temporary quick service always is?
Yeah, that has not been fully reopened since the pandemic. I don't think it was particularly popular before the pandemic.
Tortuga Tavern, right?
Yeah, because they only opened it like seasonally, kind of like that Golden Outpost. They would only open it when it was super busy. So, like,
well, and I was on the it's now defunct, which is a shame. I hope they bring it back. But I did the Magic Kingdom food tour in February of 2020, and they used that as like a holding space for us. Like, and then they brought in things for us to try. So I think they were using it for other events as well. But
that's empty space. Might as well be making money. And a lounge, like, does that mean it's gonna have alcoholic drinks?
I had the same thought. I think that we're about to get another place in Magic Kingdom that will not be dry. So be our guest and Pirates of the Caribbean Lounge.
Well, Skipper Canteen has drinks too.
Skipper's Canteen. I've never had drinks there. What?
Yeah, they do. My friend they have a special lager there, but I mean, and I think Plaza and Tony's, they all have drinks, but it's just beer and wine.
Beer and wine, right.
Right. So fingers crossed we get some like maybe Trader Sam's style stuff. Like
it's got to be something with rum. That would be a huge missed opportunity.
Oh my God, huge missed opportunity.
Cocktails.
This other piece of news, I think Abby will care about the most. Country Bear Jamboree is getting new songs.
Listen, I am not a Country Bear Jamboree lover. I know we disagree on this. I think it's a good air conditioning break. Sometimes you need an air conditioning break. I'm glad to hear that the Bears will be singing Disney songs. I feel like that was on the table for the taking for a really long time.
I wish it was something else though. Like if we're gonna do this, just make it something different. I don't know what I would make it, but make it something different.
Part of me is wondering if this is like a Band-Aid, because what is there now is just so old and outdated. Like maybe this is a bridge. Let's make it like a little bit better. Maybe we get some of the crowds out of there and then we can return after all this other major work is done, especially with Tiana going to be like right there, you know? Maybe
and they did continue to confirm the Blue Sky phase of the Magic Kingdom expansion behind Big Thunder. So we did again, Blue Sky phase. So again, it's nothing confirmed, but they did bring it up again. Yes. So that'll be happening. They also brought up more Blue Sky phase for Animal Kingdom, and it looks like they're kind of honing in on these ideas, which I'm really, really happy about. We all are happy that Dinoland is going away. Like, let's not pretend that doesn't need to go away.
No, and it's also like a graveyard right now, like a literal dino graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing back there is like the dinosaur ride and the boneyard. So
the dinosaur ride goes down like more often than Rise of the Resistance. It's out of control.
I was going to say, then Test Track.
Oh,
well, but I mean, it goes down about as much as the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, and that's the exact same ride. And I think they've kind of confirmed that they're going to retheme dinosaurs to Indiana Jones. So
it's the exact same ride. I know that fact blows people's mind. I think though, it's running better at Disneyland because that has been under refurbishment for quite some time.
It was, yeah. And I think it only broke down once on my trip, which is saying something. But for Animal Kingdom, they did narrow down to, instead of, I think the last time they said Zootopia plus, and now they just said the Tropical Americas. So I'm thinking Coco and Encanto, and they did mention Indiana Jones.
And it looked like there is some Zootopia concept art floating.
Well, the Zootopia thing, they said, is coming to the theater at the Tree of Life.
Right.
So does that mean goodbye, it's tough to be a bug?
Goodbye, it's tough to be a bug.
Yes. No one will miss you. Not RIP, just
be gone. Every time we talk to clients about that, I'm like, that's scary. And people are always like, how scary could a 4D movie be? And then they learn the hard way.
Yeah, like this is one, just take your travel agent's advice, please. If we tell you not to be on something, just don't ride something.
That's a big old skip. That's not even a Country Bear Jamboree situation.
No, this is just total. And it's so funny. I was sitting eating tacos because they have really good tacos in Animal Kingdom, right? And I'm sitting off to the side where you enter It's Tough to Be a Bug, and I see this kid. crying, telling his parent he doesn't want to go into Tough to Be a Bug. And his mom's like, it's fine. It's not scary at all. And I'm like, ma'am,
You have lied.
you scarred your child for life with that lie that you just told.
Right. Good luck getting on anything else after that. Your trip is over.
Yeah.
So wasn't there Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at Epcot? That's what that reminds me of when I was little, and I have the fear of mice running over my feet, or rats. Yeah. I think it was rats. So yes.
Right. It's this right, exactly. It's the same exact ride. Yeah.
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 Still remember it to this day.
I don't know. I'd rather have mice run across my feet 100%. Than get cockroaches and
And 100%. I also will take the Muppet 3D movie over all this.
Same. And I am not a Muppet fan. So
I'm a huge Muppet fan. I just think like that's the only Muppet attraction is a travesty. Yeah. They've done the Muppets dirty.
Fair. Fair. So we have actually split our news segment into 2 segments because we've split our show today into 2 segments. Mackenzie and I both went on a trip the exact same week. So our first show is going to be about Disneyland, and then the second will be about Walt Disney World. So that's not a super, super long episode. We just split it in half, and we had a ton of news, so we split the news in half too. So stay tuned for the rest of the news because there is a lot. In the meantime, before we get started, let's give a shout out to Alonzi Travel, the ultimate family theme park experts. Planning theme park trips can be overwhelming, but Alonzi Travel is here to make it stress-free. With their years of experience, they're your fast pass to hassle-free travel. They handle all the details, allowing you to focus on having fun with your loved ones. Whether you dream of Hogwarts or Disneyland, they've got it covered. Tailoring the trip to your family's needs, visit alonzi-travel.com/take the trip for a magical adventure. And the link is always in our show notes. So who is going to interview me about my trip?
I'll go.
Let's both do it. Abby,
cool.
Start.
Well, you can start, Mackenzie, if you want.
Okay. So when did you leave?
We left on Labor Day Monday and we came back on Friday. So quick trip.
And where did you stay?
We stayed at the Disneyland Hotel Concierge Lounge.
Did you get to see the new tower?
I saw it, but they were not doing tours yet because I did go into the DVC, the Disney Vacation Club open house area, and I asked about it because if I'm there, I want to see it. They have not gotten all the permits approved yet from Anaheim, so they could not give tours. It looks beautiful. The pool was closed, and I was so bummed. Yeah, the slide part. So like the only part that was open was the front half. So the slide was closed. And that was kind of the reason we didn't do a park day that day.
Yeah.
But they did have a golf cart to take you over to Pixar Places pool. So I did get to see that.
A big old swift flip flop, because for the longest time that pool had been closed and they were busing people over to Disneyland.
Yes. So that pool is, I would say the pool is open and it's just a rectangle. Mm-hmm. The slide is cute. It's a crush slide. So the slide is cute, but it goes into a splash pad. So we didn't ride it because it wasn't like a traditional slide that lets you off in a pool. It lets you off in the water slide tube things. Mm-hmm. And then you get out and you're in a kid's splash pad. So we didn't do it. Also, the pool bar wasn't open. So I couldn't have my mojito.
No.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Disappointing news over at Disneyland.
Yeah, and so last time I was at Disneyland, we stayed at the Grand Californian Concierge Lounge, and this time was Disneyland Concierge Lounge. And I will tell you, if you're going to do Concierge Lounge, you need to splurge and do the extra money and do it at Grand Californian, because the Disneyland one was a little bit of a letdown. I was a little bit disappointed with the offerings, the size, and things like that. For the price point, I felt like it should have been more. But I got nothing else. The rooms are great though. I love the Disneyland rooms. They are, and Taylor, my friend, she was a first time visitor. It was her 30th birthday and she loves Oogie Boogie, so that's why we went. She said the Disneyland hotel is like iconic Disney, and 100%. So I prefer the rooms at Disneyland because they're bigger. They've got the beautiful light up headboards that play the music. Their bathrooms are usually pretty big. overall, I like the rooms at Disneyland better. I just wish their concierge lounge was as elevated as the Grand Californian.
Yeah, I think people ask me this all the time. I know we've talked about it on the podcast before. I think it's so interesting, like when people try to draw parallels to the Disney World, like tiered system, because I think the Disneyland hotel is excellent. I wouldn't say that it's like necessarily inferior to the Grand Californian. Just a different vibe is all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
except apparently the concierge lounge.
Yeah, the concierge lounge is not the same, but I prefer the rooms there. I think they're a lot more comfortable and they feel a little bit more, I don't know, Disney. Disney. Yeah.
I agree. I did both on my last trip, and I can say that, yeah, Disneyland Hotel definitely feels more Disney.
Yeah.
With the headboard alone, but still.
It's magical.
Yeah.
It's classically magical.
Yeah.
Did you say what building you were in?
No, we were in the Frontier building.
Oh, just
yes.
Here.
Yeah, so I had specifically asked, no, the Adventure Tower. Sorry, the Adventure Tower. No, I asked to be in the same tower as the lounge, because as we learned, you can be in any building as a concierge guest, and I didn't want to do that. So we were on floor 10, and the concierge lounge was on floor 11. So that worked out great. We didn't have to spend a ton of time going over to the lounge, which was really important to me. Yeah.
Now, did you use the lounge for breakfast, for snacks? Did you, take advantage of all of it? Or did you just feel like because you didn't think the offerings were great, did you guys not use it as much as you would think?
I didn't use it as much as I wanted to. We always did breakfast there because why pay for breakfast when it's part of the concierge lounge?
Absolutely.
Yes. The first day we did stop by for snacks, and this is where my first giant letdown was. It was literally chips and salsa.
No.
Was that it?
Yeah. Chips and salsa, and then they had the Uncrustables and Nutri-Grain bars, but that was it. And we went back for dinner because our Trader Sam's was originally going to be at like 9 o'clock. So I'm like, well, let's have something to eat. And this was a little bit better, but again, it was like Costco food. It was tiny beef Wellingtons, tiny pot pies, and like pot stickers. And then chips and dip. And that was disappointing. And nowhere did you know that you could have beer and wine. So like I saw somebody with champagne. So I asked one of the attendants for a glass of champagne, but it's nowhere advertised. So like if you don't know, then you're missing out on that benefit. And then for the evening dessert, like Costco stuff, it was tiny cheesecakes that were terrible. And the macaroons were good though. I got a salted caramel macaroon and that one was really good.
Positive.
And that was like it.
Yeah. So one thing I think Rachel learned quickly about me, and Mackenzie probably knows this too, is I have this theory, which I call the yellow Skittles theory. It is the basis for how I make all decisions in my life. I realized one day when I was eating Skittles that I don't like the yellow ones and I don't need to eat them. No one is watching to make sure I finish them all. It's not worth the calories. It sounds like that was a lot of yellow Skittles happening.
Yeah. And I actually, once you told me that when we were traveling together, it's been in my brain ever since. So you live in my head rent free all the time. Yep. Yeah, definitely a lot of yellow Skittles. And it sucks because you're like, it's free. I want to take advantage of this. But also like, I'd rather go get a churro.
Yeah.
Right.
Churros are red Skittles.
Yes.
I love a churro. I will eat churros at Disneyland breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I will never get sick of it. I want to be the first person at the churro cart in the morning.
Maybe not the last person there at night because
Yeah. And also, then you get to see them like I don't like when they ruin the magic. So
no. Agreed.
Okay. So how many days did you do in the parks?
So we only did 3. To me, that's not enough, but it wasn't my trip. So we did what Taylor wanted to do, and that's totally fine. So we did Disneyland, California Adventure, and Disneyland. Those were the parks we started at, and we did have a park hopper. We only actually park hopped on the California Adventure Day. As you guys know, California Adventure usually isn't a full day park. So, and she's, like I said, she's a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan. So I was like, well, if we're here, we have Genie Plus, we're going to do Haunted Mansion Holiday every day. Yeah, we did Haunted Mansion Holiday every day, which means park hopping over. And we also did Oogie Boogie Bash on our last night on Thursday.
Can't wait to talk about that.
Yes.
How'd you think like the crowd levels were?
You know, it was weird. I actually wanted to go the week after, but because she works for a normal job with normal PTO standards, she has to finagle the PTO to get the most out of her time. So that's why we went over Labor Day. It was a little busier than I would have liked. Wednesday was the best day, but also thinking back on it, Tuesday they released that mini Hocus Pocus sipper. And you know how Disneyland people are. They always have to have the first thing right when it's released. So that made Disneyland really busy. And then Thursday was Tiana's Palace opening day. So that also made Disneyland really busy. So I think it was kind of like an off week just for crowds. But Wednesday was great. Wednesday wasn't super crowded. But as is Disneyland's way, the later it got in the day, the busier it got. So we always rope drop to make the most of the day and take advantage of the lower crowds. But in general, nothing was really over I would say 45 minutes, anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes, even for like the big stuff. So
I was going to ask where you ate, but then you sort of, jumped right in too to the new restaurant. So was there any dining highlights or lowlights or anything you would like to try again or recommend to us when we are there?
Yeah, we ate a lot, of course. There was a lot of things on my list. Jolly Holiday Bakery, I did get the bulgogi grilled cheese, which they took off the quesadilla one. I don't know why, but the bulgogi one is actually good. I don't know what bulgogi is. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize.
You're saying it correctly.
Okay, cool. I don't know what it is, but it was delicious. And the soup they gave you was a corn soup, and that was delightful. So great surprise. If that's on the menu again, I would definitely order it. The poison apple macaroon was a little too artificial for me. I'll stick with the rose macaroon in the future. What else do we get? So we did go to Tiana's Palace. Spoiler alert. And I got the shrimp and grits, which is apparently everyone's favorite thing. And I loved it.
Great.
Of course, as with all shrimp dishes, I wish there was more shrimp. But it was wonderfully cheesy. It was great seasoned. My friend Taylor, she got the half chicken. And honestly, it was a little dry. It was the first day though. So
I was going to say, how much of this do you think were like opening day kinks? Because there's always that. There's always opening day kinks.
I think part of it, and the mac and cheese was really dry too, but it's baked mac and cheese. So I don't know if that will change at all, but she actually liked the coleslaw. She's not a coleslaw person and she liked that one. The chicken though, like I think it'll change a little bit. It could use a little bit more seasoning. I do want to go back and try the gumbo, the jambalaya, and the muffalata. So I will be going there again. But the shrimp and grits was definitely a hit. The beignet was horrible.
Yeah, really? On your Instagram, it didn't even resemble a beignet. It looked more like some sort of toaster oven Danish.
Yeah, like the shape of it is as bad as far as you're going to get with the beignet. It tasted like cardboard with lemon curd in it. And I was telling Taylor, I'm like, the beignets over at the
just right there.
Those are better, and those aren't even that good. So for me to say that, it's not good. And I really hope that people start giving actual feedback on that, because Disney's not going to change it. If bloggers and influencers keep saying that it's good, it's not good.
Yeah, I was actually wondering too. I mean, bloggers and influencers, right? A lot of them are incentivized. I was wondering if you received, one of the things I always appreciate about Disney is that they field guest surveys when you return home. I was wondering if you had gotten one yet.
I did get a survey, but it was about the Disneyland hotel. Specific. And I did lay into the concierge lounge. So 100% I get laid feedback on that. But if I get a survey about because I did get one on my California Adventure Day. Yeah. So if I get one for my Disneyland Day, absolutely, because I think overall, Tiana's Palace is good. Opening day aside, I would definitely eat there again, but I will not order that beignet ever again.
And that's just, come on, that's low-hanging fruit. This is New Orleans themed.
It's New Orleans themed. And it was really cute. I took some pictures inside. I missed seeing Tiana, so I didn't even know she was meeting. And I was so bummed because her outfit looks so cute.
Yeah.
But it's a super cute area. 10 out of 10 recommend. So I'm going to post a TikTok about it because it was good. But
just bring the beignets over. They're right there.
I know they are right there. So next time, but they didn't have any seasonal beignets because it had just reopened. So no seasonal ones. I was really hoping to try a pumpkin spice one day. We also went to Pim's Test Kitchen, which is again a hit. The Pim Meanie is what I get. It's the sandwich. I love it. And the Honey Buzz 2.0 at the Pim. What is the drink place called?
Pim's Lab, right?
Thank you. Pim's Lab. That one, great. Loved that. We ate at Lamplight Lounge. We got a walk-up wait list. I got the pork and it was too
favorite, right?
Yeah, it's
too spicy.
It was too spicy.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think I've decided Lamplight Lounge, no more for food. I'm only going to go for drinks.
But the ratatouille, there are vegetables on the menu.
It has not been on the menu for a year.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
The ratatouille was so good. No, it hasn't been good since they reopened post-COVID because they took the ratatouille off the menu and that was the best freaking thing. Again, with the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's right there. It's for the taking. And not only that, but like, come on, the one thing that, and I love me some Disney food, but the one thing that is severely lacking anywhere on property is vegetables. Yeah. And we ate at Carnation Cafe and they took Walt's meatloaf off the menu. I am surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I was fully prepared to eat that. So instead I got Walt's chili and the cornbread they gave me was this big.
Was it Mickey shaped?
No.
Come on.
It was so small. I'm like, I'm supposed to eat this whole thing of chili.
At least give 3 small ones, then you could have made Mickey.
Yeah, so the chili was good. It just wasn't enough cornbread. And I was shooketh that they took the meatloaf off the menu.
Yeah, you couldn't even focus on anything else, right?
No. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but we did, and my brain melted out of my brain because I wanted to try the birria ramen, and I forgot. So I got the quesadilla tacos at the place on Pacific Wharf.
The San Fran Tokyo? No.
Yeah, the Mexican place in there, which always is a hit. Quesadilla tacos are always good. The cocoa limited time cake was trash. I threw it away.
Yellow Skittles. Yeah. So we had some hits, we had some misses, but the Fluffer Nutter churro wins everything. It was so good. The first time we got it, somebody did like the normal toppings. So it's a peanut butter sauce, it's a marshmallow fluff sauce, and it's chocolate chips. And because the churro is hot, the chocolate chips melt, and it's amazing. And he just did a normal pour. Fine. Great. It was delicious. Oogie Boogie night. I'm like, obviously, this is how I'm going to end my whole trip because this one was so good. This girl went ham on the churro, you guys. The whole thing was dripping. Like, you had to eat it over the container because she put so many toppings on it. I'm like, this girl, she needs a raise because this is how you give churro. Did you give her a cast member compliment?
No, because I couldn't see her name tag. I know. Because she was making it, not the one bringing me up. But the citrus churro was gross.
I will say I love the special seasonal churros, but then you get very attached to one and it may not be there next time you visit.
The Fluffernutter one, though, I think is not a seasonal one because it wasn't announced with the seasonal stuff. It's one they've kind of had and the Disneyland influencers have talked about. So when I saw that it was by the Churro Cart by Soren, I'm like, I have to have it. Excellent. 10 out of 10.
I've not had that one. I'm going to have to go for it.
It better still be there in January because I'm still thinking about it today.
Me too. Now it's in my head. It's been incepted.
Love it.
Can we talk about Oogie Boogie and any snacks that you had there?
Yeah. So we didn't. The only thing I had at Oogie Boogie was the Fluffernutter because they didn't really make it known what special things they had for Oogie Boogie. And most of what I saw was spicy stuff. And that's not up my alley. So we had dinner at Pim's Test Kitchen before the party started. And then we basically just did treat trails and photo ops because we had ridden most of the rides during the day. And I'm not wasting party time riding rides that I can ride during the day, and they didn't have any special overlays. So we didn't do that. We did not stop to meet the 2 new ones. So the guy from Big Hero 6 and the guy from
Baymax? You didn't meet Baymax?
No, the villain.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. During Oogie Boogie, the two new ones was the villain from Big Hero 6 and the villain from Doctor Doom, the villain from Roger Rabbit. Their lines were way too long. And I'm like, I don't even care about these guys. So we're not going to meet them. We did Madame Mim, and she was fantastic. So I'll just tell you a little bit of our interaction because I love Madame Mim. So we come up to her, we're talking to her, and she's like, guess how many, guess the number I'm holding it behind my back. And I know Madame Mim, right? So I say 12. And she's like, I only have 10 fingers. Guess again. So someone's like 3. I said 7. My friend said 9. And she goes 11.
Nice.
I knew. It was so funny. And then she turns around and on her little dais, it says, I win, I win, I win. And she's like, this is why I win. She was great. She was 100% the character. I loved her. We also met Oogie Boogie, and my friend who loves him had a slight interaction with him, and she loved it. We had a slight interaction with Cruella. She was hilarious. Ernesto does sing.
I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It is. Yeah, well, it is actually him singing, and it's so good. So we went by, and he wasn't singing. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe people were just making it up. I don't know. And as we were leaving, he starts, and I'm like, nope, beeline in it back. And you can stand behind the trick or treat area and watch him sing. So we did hear him sing Remember Me, which was amazing. Who else did we meet? Mother Gothel was great. She gave us her beauty tips when she had a glowing flower. She found another one apparently, and she was telling us about the glowing flowers. She asked us if it's normal for 18-year-olds to leave when they turn 18. So that was hilarious. I think that's it. The treat trails. And then we met the hag from Snow White. Also out was Hans, Sheriff of Nottingham, and Jafar, but we didn't meet any of them. What else did we do? We did a lot of photo ops. We saw Sid. We walked past him. He was being a real jerk, but true to his character, so that totally fits.
Yeah. That also, like, I don't know if I'd want to meet Sid.
Because he's a human.
Yes, he's a human and he's just a jerk. Like, yeah. I think, like, you know, like most of the villains have like the charm about them, you know?
Yeah. So he was a skip. We did not do the Clarabelle, Minnie, Daisy, Sanderson sisters because their line was way too long. We weren't really keen on that anyways. And then the Villains Grove. So the Villains Grove is the biggest thing that you'll see people talk about. And for me, it is a possible pass. Like if the line is longer than 20 minutes, I just don't think you should do it because all it is that obstacle course with lights and special effects. Like you don't meet any villains in there. And I mean, it's cool, but is it worth waiting 45 minutes and spending 45 minutes plus out of your day for the party that you paid money for? No, it absolutely is not. It's cool, but it's a skip.
Yeah.
And the parade, I also am going to say possible skip because Boo to You at Magic Kingdom, great. This parade is okay.
You know, I'm surprised because I think normally the Disneyland parades are better than the Disney World ones, but here you go. There's an exception to every rule, I guess.
Yeah, and my big tip for the parade though is if you're going to watch it, it starts both times down at Pixar Pier. So if you watch it at Pixar Pier, when it's gone, then like just go the other way around Pixar Pier and then you can go ride Radiator Springs Racers or any of the other rides that are open. Because if you're watching the second parade, it starts at 10. By the time it passes you, it's 10:15. So you still have 45 minutes to go do stuff. And by that time, perfect time to ride rides. We rode Soarin' because there was nobody in line. But if we had done Pixar Pier, then, you know, we would have been able to do more stuff.
Right. But you also don't go on, like, you're not trying to do the Incredicoaster or anything, so.
No, and neither is she, so that worked out fine for me.
Sorry, my cat is up to some hijinks, some cat hijinks back there. I heard, oh my guys, wait, can you, like, see the ears?
Yeah, yes.
She's, like, knocking things over and then checking to see if I've.
Cat hijinks, yeah.
She's like, overall, we can't have a conversation about villains without me, guys.
Obviously. Overall, I think Oogie Boogie was not as good as in 2021. There were less unique character meet and greets. So like the treat trails, have great characters on them. But outside of the 4 that I mentioned, so the Hag, Hans, the Sheriff of Nottingham, and Jafar, they had Doug and Russell. They had Mr. Incredible. Lotso was unique. The Sanderson sisters was unique. Bruno, who also had too long of a wait.
So is interesting.
Yeah, and then the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in their Kingdom Hearts. But when we went, they had Megara, Pain and Panic, Hades, a whole bunch of other like really unique characters. We saw the Prince John from Robin Hood, like that was great. So I think, you know, as we all know, the longer Disney does stuff, the less they offer you for a higher price point.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. But wait, what if you said you saw Hans? Hans is a good one.
Yeah, but you know how I feel about Frozen, so it's all right. It's all right.
Any fireworks or nighttime show?
No, because it's at California Adventure.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you get to see like a World of Color special.
No, they don't. They don't do anything special that way. The only thing special is the parade. And then in general, though, they didn't do fireworks at all the entire week that we were there.
Yeah, so fireworks are on the weekends.
Weekends, yeah.
They went back to the weekends. I think in the summer they did every day, but they didn't do the 100th anniversary fireworks or the projections. It was Hallow Scream.
Oh.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
Yeah, so hopefully, Abby, when we go in January, they'll have the 100th one because I haven't seen it and I really wanted to see it. I did not want to see Hallow Scream.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
So tell us, did you learn anything new on this trip to Disney? You were with a person experiencing it for the first time. So I always wonder if like you learned something there.
Yeah. You know, the concierge lounge was definitely a takeaway. I forgot what time the party started. So because I do so much Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, party starts at 7. No, the party starts at 6. Kept forgetting that.
Can you get in early?
Say that again.
Can you get in early?
You get in at 3.
Okay. Oh, so
everything's just an hour earlier.
And it ends at 11. Yeah. So everything's an hour earlier. Yeah. Most of what I learned was just like stuff that you wouldn't experience unless you've done it. So, you know, the pool at Pixar Place is very, very small. The concierge lounge at Disneyland is just okay. There was something else that I was like, oh yeah, I need to remember this for my clients. You see how well that went. It didn't go well at all. No, it's early entry. It was early entry. We couldn't get into Toontown until 8.
Oh, that is frustrating.
Yeah, so we had gone to do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway early, but they didn't open until 8. But we got over there at like 7:50, so we're like, well, we'll just stand around, and we were the second car to go through. So I'm like, well, it's a 10-minute wait to get on this ride. That's cool.
Can't beat that.
Better than paying for a Genie Plus or an individual Lightning Lane. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, yeah. And Tiana's Palace was great. I learned about Tiana's Palace.
You did. Many new things this go around.
Yeah, and that's always the goal, right? Always learning something new, always bringing stuff home for our clients. That's why we do what we do. And it's fun, but also
it's research.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, that's kind of it for the trip. There's nothing else really I wanted to share other than it's amazing. If you haven't been to Disneyland, definitely go. The high was 87 in September when the high here in Houston was 105.
So no one gets that.
Right? Nobody wants that. So we had a great time. The weather was great. You can dress up at Oogie Boogie. Highly recommended. There were some amazing costumes. We saw Madame Leota.
Ooh.
Literally complete with table and everything.
That's amazing.
It's so good. So if you're going to do Oogie Boogie, definitely dress up. It makes it worth it. But when you're ready to book your Disneyland trip, reach out to Alonzi Travel. They are excited to book your Disneyland trip. But until next time, tune in to our next episode here in just a couple minutes. And Mackenzie is going to tell us all about her trip to Walt Disney World on the complete other side. So stay tuned. We're coming at you next with that. Bye.
Bye.